Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to reality. How's it going out there? Hope you're living in reality with me because the weather is fine. So, we are now about a year into this bull market. It's about day 211, 212 maybe. And everything's fantastic, especially for you long term investors like my father who bought the dip, who has now basically shown everybody that's the way to do it in a market that never really goes down. You can just dollar cost average. And again, most stocks do stink, but if you buy the indices, the Qs in particular, it's very hard to lose when they generally always come back. And the word always so far can be used here. It always comes back. And I'm just basing this in reality. So, welcome to the new morning program. We'll call it reality. It's a great place to visit, a better place to live. So, let's talk about reality for a second. What was reality? Reality is manipulation is real. Manipulation of your mind, manipulation of your soul, manipulation is real. But manipulation happens on the upside and manipulation happens on the downside. And manipulation happens across all time and space, as far as the media, as far as the radio, and especially the internet, right? So when the narrative began that the world was coming to an end, right? When did that really get started? When the market had already crashed, right? Then that's when the doom and gloomers come out and say everything's going to get worse. It had already gotten worse. It had already gotten bad. It had already crashed. The market was at lows. And I'm not talking about pandemic caused crash from 2020. And you saw how that worked out, right? We crashed for 2 weeks. And then the government stepped in and said, we're not going to allow the market to go down. Let's just keep interest rates at zero, print some money, throw it into the market, give people money, have them put it into the market. And we got propped up. Now, that was artificial wealth creation, which was fantastic, right? Who cares about whether it's artificial or not? You felt good, everything was going up, but that doesn't last. That's called a bubble, right? So while the bubble was being burst off the pandemic lows, what was the narrative? Everything's awesome. This time is different. We're never going to go down. The economy was booming, and it really wasn't. It was artificial. It was manipulated. And it only had one place to go, which was down. The price of oil was dirt cheap because nobody was driving, nobody was using oil. The laws of supply and demand. Maybe you didn't know that oil was at zero. Did you think it was going to last at zero or $20 a barrel? It's not going to last. When demand came back, the price of oil went up. That also causes an economic boom, which also causes inflation. Hence the word economics. Not even going to get into that part, but let's go fast forward to where we are right now. A year into the bull market. A year. And now you're hearing the narrative change. Everything's good. There is no recession. You have nothing to be afraid of. See, the difference between what's being said now is that I was saying this in October. Now, again, I just base everything on the market momentum. The market is alive. Okay. The market's a living, breathing creature. Think of it that way. It's also a casino that's rigged, not by the politicians, not by the wealthy, the super wealthy, the ones, the conspiracies that you want to believe in. This is the 1%, the mega 1%, the ones you don't hear about, the hedge fund managers that don't exist. These are the people that make things happen. The ones they write the movies about, the, the guy in the dark room with just a voice, the guy on top of the guy on top of the guy on top of the guy, that guy controls the market. And he also controls the media. So his job is to manipulate your mind to make you sell when things are going down to get them even cheaper so he can buy. He's bought. He's in. That's why dollar cost averaging works. So now the Illuminati, let's call them. The Illuminati got in last June. They started really getting in October. But the narrative got even more enforced. You fundamental people. The valuations don't make any sense. This market's going lower. The price of oil. The price of oil is going higher. We're all going to die. Running out of diesel. We never ran out of diesel. Biden bucks. We're going to come and devalue the US currency. Inflation was going to kill us all. And remember, the inflation was real. That was real. Prices did go up. But you know what also went up? the money you were getting in a bank. So let's talk about bread, right? Bread and eggs, right? Eggs through the roof. Do you know there was a conspiracy that the egg companies were feeling left out of the inflation? So they just started raising prices on eggs because they could. It really wasn't that much more than that. There wasn't a shortage of eggs. They were like, hey, everybody's making money on this inflation thing, and we got all these eggs. Let's just raise prices on eggs. Do you remember when the oil companies were complaining that the prices of oil was too low? They petitioned the government for money. Are they giving the money back to the government now because the oil prices went up so high? Of course not. So your mind is being manipulated on a daily basis. So the only way to survive the manipulation is to just live your life, live in reality. What is really, really upsetting you? Not somebody else's problem that you might have heard on television. That's not your problem. That's an artificial problem. That's not your problem. And that problem might not even exist because you're being manipulated. What is affecting you? The price of bread, right? So the price of bread went up 20 cents, right? I was paying $1.99 for my loaf of bread. Now it's $2.29. Sorry. So it's 30 cents, 31 cents. But that 31 cents that I'm paying for the bread every week and a half, I only use about a loaf and a half about bread. Yeah. So it's 31 cents extra to me. You know where that 31 cents is coming from? From the bank. We spent 10 years looking at our bank accounts getting zero. That was a real problem. People need that money. People live off their savings. And there was no money being generated in savings account, no money being generated in checkings account, no money being generated in CDs. This is where people actually make money. The stock market is disconnected from reality. The stock market is a casino, right? And the stock market, not that many people, I mean, not that many people, but there's a plenty of people that don't have anything to do with the stock market. They don't care if it goes up or down. They need the money in the bank to make something for them. So now you're getting money in the bank and that offsets all the inflation. So everything's fine. So the reason you want to live in reality is because it's fun. It's fun because when you live in reality and you just isolate what means something to you and yours, right? Sure, we got a border problem. And I got solutions for that, but we're not going to talk about that today. We'll talk about that on my other program when I'm running for president. My manifesto, I got you want to see law and order, put me in charge. But right now, I've been saying this narrative for the last since October. No recession, no fear. No recession, no crash, no fear. No recession. What is a recession? Do you know what a recession is? It's 2 quarters in a row of GDP, negative GDP growth. And if it happened, what would it mean to you? Nothing. Nothing. So when people are complaining about, oh, the interest rates are high, the mortgage rates are going through the roof, are you looking to buy a home? Probably not, right? Looking to downsize maybe, right? You had 10 years to lock into a low rate. This should be the greatest time of your life. Not many people, unless you're looking to buy a home right now. And also, I want to use the word relative, right? When they're saying interest rates are so high right now, I can't afford to buy a house. Deal with it. It's called reality. 1992. Remember 1992? If you look at 1992 compared to today, the interest rates are low. It's all relative. Deal with it. You weren't going to keep zero interest rates for the rest of our lives. Deal with it. So we will move on. If this is the new range, 4% to 6%, we're getting 5% in the bank. Mortgage rates are at 6.75 on a 30-year fixed. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. My parents first got into a mortgage, a 30-year fixed at 12 and a half. I remember how excited they were when they got it down to 9, and then how excited they were when they got it to 7 and 7/8, and then they paid off their loan. It's all relative. The market wasn't booming at the time, right? Now, if you live in reality, the market's gone up every day for a year. Oh, now, of course, it's a bull market. See, that's the get. And I'm not saying the market's not going to keep going up right now, but when you hear the narrative change, it's already been a year. So what I'm trying to say is the next time, and it will be a next time, when everybody's rah, 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 and everything's super, that's when you have to be afraid. When everybody's screaming that you need to be afraid, that's when you walk into the fire because it's never going to be the end of the world. And if it is, good. Hopefully, you're in the bomb radius and it ends quickly. Hopefully, the disease that's going to kill you does it quickly. If you're planning for the end of the world, it's impossible to live your life. I'm prepared enough. I got water, food, guns, bullets, and plenty of protection like armor and swords. So if it comes to hand combat, I'll be all right. That's all the most preparation I can need. If a bomb goes off, like I said, hopefully I'm in the fallout or the blast. But if you're going to live in fear, what kind of life is that? What kind of life is that? But the reason that we as traders see the turn before everybody else is, let's go back to the original commentary. The market's alive and it tells the future. It starts to go up before things get better. Or you have to start thinking, were things that bad? Was the economy really that bad? No, it wasn't. That was the lie. That was the rumor. Were we running out of diesel? No, that was the lie. That was the rumor. That was the conspiracy. So when you live in reality, you get to see all this stuff for what it is. It's funny. Life's a comedy and it borders tragedy. It's tragic if you buy into all the negativity. If you stay positive and you just look at it just look at it differently for 5 minutes. Shut the TV off. Stop reading on the internet. And for God's sakes, don't go on Twitter because the internet's the worst of the worst. It's feeding that narrative to you specifically because it knows what you want to see. Try it. Try it. Get off the internet. Try to live in reality. Go outside. I mean, it's a shame. It's a shame. And I couldn't tell you if the market's going to go up another 20% from here or fall 10%. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. And it shouldn't really matter to most people. It will go back up. It always does. Over any extended period of time, the market goes up. That's how it's built. So if you have time and patience, money, it's hard to lose. Short-term greed over long-term greed, that's what gets in the way. So where we are today in the world of reality is that we're going to raise interest rates and nobody's going to care because nobody cares. Economic data doesn't matter when the market starts to go up, right? Absolutely doesn't matter. Valuations, fundamental analysis, everything that the overall common thesis is that the economy affects the stock market. Absolutely not true. It's not true. The stock market is disconnected from all reality. It is based on price, fear, greed, and momentum. And when you realize that, and then you will now realize how important volume weighted average price is to do. If you want to do this on a daily basis or even a weekly or a monthly, you could still use VWAP, volume weighted average price, to keep yourself based in reality. Because price, the price of the stock, the momentum, whether it's going up or down, fear and greed. That's it. That's what controls it. Because if you think about the valuation of a company, like today at Microsoft, they're working at Microsoft, they're trying to sign some deals. Microsoft could go up 3 points today. That's worth like $80 billion. Has the company changed today? $80 billion worth? No, they haven't. It's just people want to own. Think of the market as artwork, right? Right? Artwork. Everybody wants the painting, right? See this cup? There's only one of these cups. I don't even know why I'm drinking coffee out of it. This cup's worth 8 grand. I bought it from a guy for 4 grand. Now it's worth 8. I got somebody who wants to pay 16 grand for it, and everybody wants it. I don't want to sell it. Now it's worth 17 grand. Somebody offered me 19, 20 grand, 21, 22,000. Wow. And then I sell it for 22 grand. Is it worth 22 grand? I guess this guy just paid 22 grand for it. But then the artist that made the cup turned out to be a pedophile. Now the cup's worthless. What's it worth? Nothing. Because valuation doesn't matter. It's about fear, greed, momentum, an illusion, right? What was once worth a lot of money, now nobody wants it. What's it worth? Nothing. But hey, it was once worth a lot of money, but now nobody wants it. So when Nvidia was going down, it wasn't that the chip company was making more or less money. They were slowing down a little bit. And now that it's gone up over 180%, that's all anticipation of what they're going to do. Nothing's really changed that much to, turn a $500 billion company into $1 trillion company. There's not, yeah, I understand there's a lot going on in the company, but not that much. It's fear, greed, momentum, and price. But we're jumping ahead too quickly. We're jumping ahead. So, what to expect today? The same as every other day. The market's going to go up and then down. It's going to try to go down and then it'll go up because nobody wants to sell now. Everybody wants the cup. If everybody wants the cup, we can't go down. Plus, the computers who are really in control of this. So, if we get an exodus of the market and people start to sell, that'll create the momentum down. But that'll only last, that downside will only last if we get tripwires, circuit breakers, and other prices that make the algorithm say, hey, what's going on? If then. You guys remember probability in school? If and then. If then. So if a certain price gets breached, the computer doesn't know who the president is or if there's a war in Russia. The computers don't know that what these companies are. It's letters and numbers to them. All it knows is if 362.50 starts to trade with downside momentum, the next average price is 360. I'm talking about the Qs yesterday. And then what happened when they got to the 360? The algorithm said, if it holds 360, start to buy. If back over 362.50, start to buy more. And then we rallied back. That's it. That's how it works. Sorry. I know you might have went to school to learn about the mechanics of fundamental analysis. It's basically all bullshit. The entire market is rigged to price. Everything else around it, that's just for content and stories. I'm sure there are some stocks out there that actually don't do anything. I don't know what Clorox does or Tootsie Roll, dead stocks that just sit around and do nothing. That's what the market should do. It shouldn't fluctuate the way it does. You know why it does? Because it's a casino. And the computers have taken it over, and fear and greed and momentum. The real stuff that moves the market is just not fundamentals. It's just everybody wants it, and then everybody doesn't want it. And then the fear and the greed, the fear to get in and the fear to sell because it might go higher. Then the fear of missing out because it is going higher, and then you want to get back in. And then it goes lower. And the fear that it's going to go lower makes you sell it. And then you sell some and it goes lower, and then you get afraid that it's going to keep going down. And so you get scared out of it and you sell out of it. And then the cycle continues. Oh my God, it's going back without me. I got to get back in. Everybody wants it again. And that's how it works. Everybody wants it. Nobody wants it. Boom and bust. Booming, everybody wants it. Yeah. And then nobody wants it. Oh. That's it. That's it. So if you're just navigating it and you live in reality, I don't know what Schrodinger does. Schrodinger. It's a stock I bought the other day, SDGR. Why did I buy it? 2 years ago, I read something, a little bit about the company when they did an IPO, SDGR, right? I think it was 3 years ago. And a buddy of mine said, "Yeah, you got some really great software. Oh, the software industry is hot right now. Yeah, you might want to buy this stock." And I like the name, Schrodinger. So I looked into it, when it broke over its IPO highs. I think it was like $57. We bought some. It went to 80. We were like, yeah, 50 to 80. Woo. I think it went to like, where'd it go? 120. And then it went all the way down to 15. So what happened over at Schrodinger? Was their software good 3 years ago? It was a $24 stock and it went to 120. Then it went to 40. And then it went back to 120. Was there that much going on over there at Schrodinger Software Company? All the contracts being signed? Probably not. Probably just status quo, a little bit of blips, little blips. But the stock from 20 to 100 to 40 to 120 to 15 to 40. What's it really worth? Who knows? It's worth what it is now. So now that it broke over certain prices, the computers say, hey, Schrodinger, it just broke 35. The computers are like, must go to 50. And the stock probably go to 50. Do I know anything about Schrodinger? No. I think they make medical something software that somebody once told me was pretty cool and they have a nice niche in the market, or niche. I don't know shit, but I know that it popped to $40, pulled back, held to 33, broke back over 35. Chances are it's going to go to 40. And so far it went to 40, and now it looks like it's going to go to 50. There it is. That's trading. Think I care about Carvana's future? Stock is in play. Right? I don't care about Carvana or what they do or whether they stay in business. If the stock's going up today, I'm in. If it starts going down tomorrow, I'm out and I'm short. Just like yesterday, we shorted the market when the time was right to short the market, and that time was very, very limited because the market doesn't want to go down. So today, I'll be back at around 9:15. We'll do our 2 hours together, and then I'll come back and we'll watch as nobody reacts to them raising interest rates. And I hope they continue to raise interest rates. I would love to see 12.5% because it doesn't matter. I want to help America. And you know what helps America? 12.5% interest rates on your bank. You give me 12.5% on cash, I'm loving America. I'll pay $3 for bread. Give me 12.5% in the bank, 15% in a 3-year CD. I'm in. Raise them, raise them, raise them, and never lower them, ever. Cash is king, baby. No risk, and you're getting paid. What's better than that? Zero risk, and you're getting money. Best time to be alive, baby. Best time to be alive. Raise those interest rates. Raise them. Raise them, people. Raise them. Because most of us realized that zero interest rates weren't going to last. It lasted way too long. 2 3/4 on a 30-year fixed? Are you insane? I never thought I would see that. I'm in. I'm in. And I'm good for 30 years. Raise them. So again, if you didn't prepare for this moment, then here's another part about living in reality. Blame yourself. For once, just take some responsibility on your own. It's not anybody else's fault. The market didn't go down because of somebody else. You didn't make or lose money because of somebody else. You did this. You did it. Everything that happens is on you. Accept it. And you'll live a much happier life. And when you read about somebody else's problems, that's their problem. That's not your problem. Don't make it your problem. We'll talk about real problems when I start running for mayor and Congress and senators. I know what the real problems in this country is, and it's the division, and it's the illusions and the conspiracy theories. Live in reality. We'll start a third party, and we'll call it the Independent Thought Party, or the Realist Party, the Reality Party, where everything's exposed, everything's transparent, and there will be no conspiracy theories. All right. I'll see you guys at 9:15, and then again we'll do something at 1:45. And I'm gonna just say this one more time. I'm hoping, I'm praying that the market does crash. Yeah, I love a good crash. You know why? Because then it gives opportunity because we can make money on the downside. And then the crash provides you these $4, $5 stocks that go back to 30, like Carvana, like NNOX, like ENVX, like Tesla at 120 or Nvidia at 160. Nobody wants to buy when it go up every single day, right? That's real fear. You should be afraid. You go up for 9.5 straight months. Now you're feeling comfortable to get into the market. It's not how it works, people. When the media is telling you everything's fine, that's the conspiracy theory you can trust in. The markets, the media, they are out to get you. Believe that. But you're looking at it the opposite way. When they're telling you it's fine, it's not that fine. 2021. When you're telling you it's the world's coming to an end, get involved. Don't forget Y2K, right? Remember that one? Yeah. Murder hornets. Come on. The list goes on and on and on. So base yourself in reality. Try to have as much fun as you possibly can before the whole shithouse does go up in flames. Because right now, all I care about is a disease that is running through my freaking body. I am covered in poison ivy. And that's my reality. That's the only thing I care about right now. It's a nightmare. And, but that's reality. I ain't worried about some bizarro conspiracy theory about something or something or something that probably doesn't even exist. All right. See ya. Good luck today.